Live from WRAL News headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Live dual Doppler 5000 radar just has a couple of isolated showers for us this morning. We will have a better chance of storms later this afternoon. I'll walk you through the timeline.
And the driver accused of hitting and killing a family of 3 while under the influence is facing new charges. What's next in his case as that family's visitation is planned for today?
Plus, is your drinking water safe? A new report on Forever Chemicals in North Carolina sheds light on the areas with high levels of PFAS.
And we're just hours away from the start of the soccer tournament here at WakeMed Soccer Park. Coming up, what big names you'll be seeing on the field this week.
Yeah, they're all vying for that $1 million prize at the end of it. It's so exciting. So many big names going to be there. We'll get to that coming up. Thanks for joining us on your Wednesday morning. I'm Michelle McConaughey in for Nate Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Thanks for making us part of your Wednesday here. Folks, you remember yesterday when you stepped outside first thing, almost immediate sweat. It's so humid out there. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. It continues again today, summer-like.
Yeah, more of that today and tomorrow, which is not going to be, so much fun for the soccer players, but that sounds like such a fun thing to go and watch, doesn't it? All right, I'm watching the radar. A few isolated showers back towards Charlotte are fizzling out really as they head our way. So we're not likely to see any rain there anytime soon. And this last little cell from last night, north of Tarboro, headed on out of Edgecombe County and out of our viewing area. So it's a pretty quiet start for us this morning. We are seeing a mix of sun and clouds this morning, and it is likely that later on, say maybe closer to 10 or 11, we could see some of those sprinkles that are back to our west moving on in. But a better chance for storms starting at around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They may be heaviest during the evening around dinner time. And yesterday we had some really heavy rain out of those cells. It is likely that we'll see that again. A pretty view of Roxborough this morning with some sun and clouds. 72 in the triangle. Our dew point's way up at 66, so it's really warm and sticky. We'll hit 90 this afternoon. I'll show you what it will feel like with the heat index coming up. Ken?
At 6:01, Elizabeth, for those of you getting ready to head out the door this morning, nothing but green showing up on the map, and that's a really good thing. The Beltline, 87 coming in from Nightdale, all looking smooth this morning. Elsewhere in the triangle, in Durham and Chapel Hill, all the major thoroughfares are delay-free this morning. I want to give you an opportunity to see exactly what's going on outside this morning. This is a live look at I-885 and Ellis Road. Traffic is beginning to pick up just a bit, but moving smoothly in both directions. Bring you back to the capital city and give you a live look at I-440 and Glenwood Avenue. Again, traffic moving along very nicely this morning.
With breaking news we're following this morning, the driver accused of hitting and killing a family of 3 while driving under the influence on Memorial Day in Garner is now facing new charges. WRAL's Nick Perlin joins us from the Garner Police Department live this morning. And Nick, this comes ahead of a visitation for the Campbell family today.
Jeff, that's right, and that visitation will be held this evening at a church in Ellenburg. Now, we do know, as for the driver, those new charges, he's now being charged with 3 counts of second-degree murder in that deadly Memorial Day crash. Now, WRAL was told of this late last night after a grand jury returned those indictments yesterday. Now, Garner police say Porter was driving on US 70 West, ran a red light, and struck a blue car. Inside that car was 2 adults, Tyler and Susan Campbell, who sadly died at the scene. And also heartbreaking, their 8-year-old son Miles was inside that car and was pronounced brain dead the next day. Like I said, the visitation for the Campbells will be held tonight in Ellensboro, and the funeral will be held at noon in that same church. Now, as for the driver, Jordan Porter, he is expected to face a judge tomorrow morning in Raleigh at 9 a.m. Reporting live in Garner, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
And starting this morning, 56 teams will compete for a $1 million prize during the soccer tournament. We're expecting some big names in Cary watching and competing in this tournament. And WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from WakeMed Soccer Park. Kelsey, this is the first time that women's teams will compete in the tournament.
Michelle, it is, and you may be able to see some of the setup here behind me. We're just hours away from the start of the tournament here at WakeMed Soccer Park. But let's give you a look at video from last year. You can see fans there cheering inside of the park. This year marks the first time there will be an 8 team women's event. Both North Carolina FC and NC Courage are playing this week. They're both competing for a $1 million cash prize. And you'll see some big names in this tournament, like former NFL stars Chad Ochocinco-Johnson and J.J. Watt. Now, you may remember this familiar face from NCFC, who will be back on the field this week.
You're playing a lot of people that you played in the past while you were a professional, also a lot of big names who you watched when you were younger. So it's really an honor to be a part of it, and the fact that we're doing it here in our hometown is even better.
And it just doesn't get any better. We'll have everything you need to know about the tournament here on WRAL. Our WRAL sports team will be here when the tournament starts this morning at 8:30. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
A new report out today shows drinking water for at least 2.5 million North Carolinians may contain unsafe levels of forever chemicals known as PFAS. PFAS is a category of man-made chemicals that can build up in the environment and the human body. Forever chemicals have been linked to adverse health effects, including cancer. The new report from Environmental Working Group comes after Governor Roy Cooper declared this week PFAS Awareness Week.
I don't want everyday people to have to bear the burden of this when we know that there are companies that have put these pollutants in the water and that we know we've got to clean it up.
More than 300 drinking water systems in the state contain PFAS at levels that would exceed new federal limits, including City of Durham, Fayetteville Public Works Commission, and the Orange Water and Sewer Authority. This week marks the 7th anniversary of when the public learned forever chemicals had been dumped into the Cape Fear River from the Chemours Fayetteville Works chemical plant. To learn more about the impact of PFAS pollution on North Carolinians, you can watch our WRAL documentary, Forever Chemicals, North Carolina's Toxic Tap Water. You can find it on WRAL.com under the documentary tab.
Wake County Public School leaders are prioritizing pay for teachers in next year's school's budget. Other areas like substitute teachers and programs funded by pandemic relief money could take a hit. It comes as the system received $5 million less than it asked for from county leaders. The Board of Education is now waiting on a state budget to finalize plans and secure positions.
This morning, a bill that would increase penalties for people who attack power stations will be discussed by a Senate committee. In November 2022, 2 electrical substations were attacked in Moore County. Power to thousands of people were knocked out for 5 days. Years later, no one's been arrested. The proposed bill would make it a high-grade felony to purposefully damage or attempt to damage an energy facility.
For the next 2 days, crews will monitor 2 buildings in Zebulon that evacuated after 2 workers mowing grass discovered a mysterious substance in a ditch. Multiple people were sent to the hospital, but crews don't believe the substance is hazardous. This happened on Industrial Drive. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was on the scene for hours, along with a large emergency response. Zebulon Police and Fire, as well as Raleigh Fire, Hazmat, and Water were also there.
That the material that originally was thought to be hazardous is likely to be cleaning chemicals that were pulled down in that drainage ditch down there.
614, a dual Doppler 5000 radar looking nice and quiet. There were a few showers near Charlotte edging toward the Sandhills. Those have fizzled out. And this last little bit, actually, we have a little bit just popped up, say around Warren County, a little sprinkle there. And then we have this tiny little shower now that's dissipated quickly north of Tarboro, headed right on out of here. Our rain chances this morning still around 20%, just to kind of cover the bases. Lunchtime, 30%. But then later on this afternoon and evening, we go from 40 to 50%. That's when we'll have the best chance for storms, and I'll walk you through it on Futurecast. Look at this cool shot from Goldsboro, kind of that hazy sun that just popped up over the horizon. It is warm and sticky as kids are getting on the bus this morning, and hot this afternoon when they get off with a high of 90 degrees. We'll talk about how that feels with the heat index coming up. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, weather and traffic every 10 minutes. I want to give you a live look now at data coming into our traffic center this morning. Nothing but green showing up on the map in the capital city. The Beltline, 87 coming in from Nidell, all free and clear this morning. Giving you a closer look at Durham, Chapel Hill, Hillsborough. All the major thoroughfares are delay-free at this hour.
New this morning, a gunman opened fire at the U.S. Embassy in Lebanon. Lebanese army says a Syrian national tried to attack the embassy today. The person was injured in an exchange of gunfire with soldiers. The U.S. Embassy in Beirut says its facility and teams are safe. The gunman was taken to the hospital for treatment. Singer Sean Kingston is out of jail this morning. He bonded out after being charged with fraud. Walked out of that Florida jail with a bodyguard by his side. He had his head covered with a T-shirt until he got inside a car. Kingston is charged with numerous fraud and theft charges, adding up to over $1 million worth of fraud. Kingston and his mother were arrested in California last month after a raid on his home.
The federal corruption trial against New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez is now in its fourth week. 2 FBI investigators took the stand yesterday to talk about what they heard between Menendez and others that he was having dinner with at a D.C. steakhouse in 2019. The FBI was there eavesdropping on conversations, and one person at the dinner was an Egyptian government official. Menendez, his wife Nadine, and 2 others are accused of engaging in a bribery scheme and acting as foreign agents for the Egyptian government. Senator Menendez and the 3 others accused have all pleaded not guilty. His wife Nadine will be tried separately this summer.
Local, state, and national leaders came together in Cary to focus on the rising cost of school lunches. Wake County public school system have recently increased meal prices by 25 cents, and that's after 3 years in a row of the price going up. Wake County Superintendent Robert Taylor wants the state's Attorney General the state's General Assembly to put more money in school lunchrooms. And he says that'll cost about $125 million to do it. School leaders say having access to healthy meals will help children thrive in education.
We have great data to support that it reduces chronic absenteeism, and we know that that means it increases the outcomes of all of our students.
Several states, including Maine and Michigan, are now offering free school meals for all students.
Tomorrow marks the 80th anniversary of D-Day. On June 6, 1944, U.S. and its allies stormed the beaches of Normandy during World War II, breaking through Nazi defenses. Only a few thousand are still alive to tell their stories. NBC News correspondent Kelly Coabea visited the site with a group of veterans who were young men and teenagers 8 decades ago, fighting to change the course of history. Her talk with those heroes is ahead this morning on Today. That starts right here at 7 o'clock. All right, let's get over to weather. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. A beautiful morning shaping up, but we are going to see some rain later on today.
We have a good chance of showers and thunderstorms. We saw some of those pop up yesterday, and the rain that fell yesterday was heavy. We have a lot of moisture in our atmosphere right now, so anything that begins today is likely to eventually become heavy. A couple of isolated showers, say up around Warren County and Halifax County. We have this one shower that started over in Nash County and is about to move completely out of the viewing area north and east of Tarboro there in Edgecombe County. So that's about it for now. But we're tracking a cold front that will come through tomorrow. Ahead of that front, we'll see a good chance of showers and thunderstorms. Lots of moisture available. We ended up yesterday seeing a daily record rainfall at RDU. We had 1.8 inches of rain and a shower that moved through. I don't live that far from the airport. I had 0 yesterday. So it's interesting how these little cells will pop up and they'll produce some heavy rain. We're going to continue to see chances of rain into Thursday. We'll take a look at where the front is right now. Backing way up, some severe thunderstorms developed along that front overnight last night. Still a lot of thunder and lightning with that. It will continue to track eastward today. Ahead of the front, we see a solid flow coming out of the south, bringing a lot of moisture. A couple sprinkles potentially in the Sandhills this morning, and then scattered showers and thunderstorms start to pop up mid to late afternoon and continue through the evening. Now, once the sun sets, it looks like the bulk of that will dissipate, but we'll get started again tomorrow with an isolated shower in the morning, but a better chance of rain right ahead of the front, which will likely be during the evening commute through dinner time. And then we're done. Once that front moves through, we're going to be treated to a delightful air mass behind it. The humidity is out of here for a few days. 40% chance for today, 50% chance for tomorrow. The chance of rainfall, this is going to be not really helpful information. We're going to average maybe a quarter of an inch to a half an inch. But remember, yesterday we saw over 1.5 inches of rain at RDU. So we're going to have pockets of some very heavy rain today and tomorrow. Once we get to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, looking gorgeous. We're dry, 84 on Friday, 80 on Saturday, and 85 Sunday at game time for the Durham Bulls' latest homestand, and the humidity will be lower, especially Friday and Saturday. We'll see a high of just 83 on Saturday, and then we start to warm things up slightly as we get into early next week. Ken?
At 6:20, Elizabeth, relatively quiet out there in the roadways this morning, knock on wood, right? Because it's nothing but green showing up on the map. We're seeing this real trouble troubled spot way down there in Johnston County near Wilson's Mills Road, I-70, the Highway 70, rather, those westbound lanes down there in Wilson's Mills. Just keep an eye on that. It's just the usual morning congestion this morning in that area. Elsewhere in the capital city, the Beltline 87, all free and clear this morning. I want to give you an opportunity to see what's going on outside and show you exactly what we're talking about. I-40 and South Saunders, traffic is picked up but moving rather smoothly this morning.
Thanks, Ken. Coming up, John Wick and Matrix star Keanu Reeves is coming to our area with his band. And where and when you can see them perform in the Triangle.
Plus, we're getting a closer look at what Wake Public School leaders are prioritizing in next year's budget, the areas that may need to be cut.
And here's a look at your winning NC Education lottery numbers. We'll be right back with what's trending.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Star Wars fans got a treat last night with the premiere of a brand new prequel series, The Acolyte.
Ken Smith is here with What's Trending, Ken.
The force is with the fans this morning, Michelle and Jeff. The first 2 episodes aired together last night on Disney+. The Acolyte takes place before the events of the main Star Wars movies. Now, fans are excited about the series' focus on the Jedi Order. Users on X are raving about a shocking reveal, but all right, we won't spoil anything just in case you haven't seen it yet.
So what you see in the trailer, they have lightsabers back then, apparently. I saw one of the trailers last night, but there are some things floating around from fans about maybe a cameo from Yoda. I don't know.
Interesting.
Like 900 years old. But there's not maybe. I mean, this was hundreds of years before Star Wars would have happened. So there's no Darth Vader, there's no Luke Skywalker, all that
exactly.
stuff. It's a murder mystery. It's pretty cool. I mean,
and this is foreign to me because I've never seen Star Wars.
Any of it? Okay.
Any of it? I know it's terrible.
You're required to watch it.
I have to watch it.
You gotta stop talking then. You can't.
Well, Jeff and Michelle, how about this? Fans of Cillian Murphy and Peaky Blinders have something to look forward to. Netflix announcing a Peaky Blinders film in the works. Cillian Murphy says, "It seems like Tommy Shelby wasn't finished with me, and this film is for the fans." He will also co-produce that film as well.
I need to watch Peaky Blinders because I hear it is absolutely incredible. But Cillian's been in a lot. He was in Batman back in 2005, Batman Returns. I mean, he's been in a lot. But Peaky Blinders really is what kind of put him on the map, I think, or made a lot of people recognize, oh, it's this guy.
I saw him in Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
And if you're going to capitalize on his popularity right now, now's the time.
There it
to
is.
do it.
Ken, thanks. Actor Keanu Reeves and his band, Dog Star, are going on tour. The alternative rock band announced a summer vacation tour 24 across North America. Now, this comes after the group's first performance in 20 years that they did last summer. So they liked it so much, Dog Star will make a stop in Raleigh in August, performing at the Ritz on the 13th of August. Pre-sale tickets go on sale today. Reeves formed Dog Star along with Robert Mailhouse and the group's original guitarist and lead singer Greg Miller in 1991.
Look at this beautiful sunrise view we have from our camera that's right here on the tower right behind us. Looking gorgeous out there this morning. We do have a good chance for storms this afternoon. I'll show you what time they'll start where you are.
Plus, a brand new report into harmful chemicals found in North Carolina's drinking water. The local water systems with levels of PFAS that exceed new federal limits.
And we're just a couple hours away from the start of the soccer tournament here at Wake Med Soccer Park. Coming up, what big names you'll be seeing on the field this week.